anything is possible when founders, VCs, tech entrepreneurs, and investors come together for a larger purpose. We believe we can impact social change the startup way. We believe founders who build successful businesses can also build the foundation for a better world. Leaders who create great shareholder value also have the empathy to create greater shared value. We believe in collective action. Together, we are backing India's best social entrepreneurs to combat COVID-19 using India's inventive startup assets. We are supporting ideas that are capital efficient, scale ready, and creating immediate impact. We started with COVID-19 and health and are now making a difference in environment, education, and empowerment of women. We are finding solutions using innovative technologies, and we are driving it fast. If you're an entrepreneur or a person with an idea, a tech startup or a social change activist, or a passionate individual who feels the way we feel, we believe you have something to give. Volunteer your time and expertise, or simply join the community and become an ambassador and spread the good word. Your action is our resource. We believe in the energy of the flow to create a wave of change. We believe transformation is happening and we will see it in our lifetime. We believe everyone can be a co-founder for social change. Join the flow, get involved, act now.
Hi everyone, this is Mohit Bhatnagar, and on behalf of the entire team at ACT, wish you all a very warm welcome to our first ever ACT Summit. In March 2020, right when COVID was on the shores of India, a few of us got together and said we had to do something. That simple phone call snowballed into an entire movement called ACT, where everybody from the entire startup ecosystem, founders, investors, volunteers, came forward over the last 1 year to try and fight off the spread of the virus. Innovative solutions, innovative business models, lots of passion and energy has gone into this last 1 year in creating over 100 grants that were made from a pool of capital that we put together. It started off by us actually creating a fund of 100 crores. Everyone stepped forward and helped us create that small pool of capital. In parallel, we had to start meeting thousands of entrepreneurs who had ideas, whether it was to provide protection for our healthcare workers, to create software for contact tracing, or even more sophisticated oxygen solutions for handling the disease. We had 10 tracks where multiple volunteers met these different entrepreneurs, bubbled the most impactful ones to the top, and then on a daily basis, an investment committee gave out grants to actually give wings to some of these ideas. Once the solutions were put into play, we worked closely with the state and the national government to actually get these solutions put into the field. The impact was amazing. We had over 100 grants given, and we were able to reach states all the way from Tamil Nadu to Kashmir, and even in far-flung areas like Northeast and Andamans. ACT is a movement for social change. We want to attack some of the hardest problems that are in front of India right now and try and solve them the startup way. The startup way, you say? It means three things. First is a tech-first and engineering-first way of approaching a solution. Instead of throwing people and money at the problem, how can we use technology, just like startups do, to try and solve hard problems in India? Second is speed, a bias for action. We think there's a lot of learning that you have in the market. So by launching solutions quickly and rapidly iterating in the market, we're able to find those solutions that actually work and then double down on them. And finally, innovation. There's no need to recreate assets and start from scratch. There's a lot of good work already being done, lots of solutions that already exist. How do we go out there and leverage and exploit what's already been done before to make them more impactful? Our journey at ACT started with healthcare when we organized our industry's response to COVID. We're now expanding our focus to education and environment, where we want to solve hard structural problems in the same startup way. So we will start with a focus on healthcare, education, and environment. And after that, very selectively pick up new verticals once we find passionate people who want to pick up a new cause and are willing to spend 5 to 10 years of their life driving change in that cause. In the last 1 year, ACT has given grants of 100 crores and supported many entrepreneurs in the healthcare space. If we do this right over the next 5 to 10 years, we would have actually given out close to 500 to 600 crores of seed capital to many entrepreneurs who want to build businesses for social impact in the education, environment, and healthcare sectors. The money itself is a drop in the ocean. More importantly, this will attract a wall of capital from foundations and government that will sort of come to support the best-in-class entrepreneurs that we have seeded. That's the true objective of ACT, to put into place an ecosystem for social entrepreneurship. There are two specific reasons we're actually conducting this summit here this year. The first is we wanted to thank and acknowledge everyone's great effort last year when we were fighting COVID together. Well done, everyone. It was energizing to see the entire ecosystem come together. The second objective is to get the word out, to tell others that there's a movement like this that's getting created, and everyone should come become a part of it. Come claim your spot and become a co-founder at ACT. So here's how we're going to spend the next 3 hours. First, we're going to have Sandeep and Shekhar anchor a session on healthcare. Specifically, we're going to talk to our entrepreneurs that we partnered with during the fight against COVID. You'll hear about interesting solutions like cloud physician and telemedicine solutions that we used to serve millions of people all across the country in a tech-first manner. Next up, we'll have Mekin and Ashish lay down a foundation and a vision for the education fund that we're going to start at ACT. Very specific thesis areas that we're looking to partner with entrepreneurs on so that we can solve hard-to-solve problems in the education sector. Then we'll have GV and Prashant anchor their vision of how they want to bring about a better environment and climate change in India. We'll talk about specific solutions that we're trying to give grants to in the water and air space, and we have experts who are going to join them for that session. And finally, we're going to have Suman and team touch on a very important and sensitive issue of gender diversity in our startup ecosystem. So that's the plan for the day. We hope you enjoy the sessions ahead of you, and please participate and ask questions as you go along. With that, let me invite my partner Abhiraj to come share his perspectives and his journey of ACT with you.
Hello. My name is Abhiraj Bhal, and I am the co-founder of Urban Company. Let me take you back to March 2020, when COVID-19 hit India all of a sudden, and all of us found ourselves in perhaps one of the most difficult and challenging periods of our lives. As a startup founder, there was much to be taken care of. But at the same time, a few of us amongst the VC and startup ecosystem in India came together to say that we have to do more. This was once in our lifetime crisis, and we couldn't sit on the sidelines and watch this crisis unfold in front of us without doing anything. I remember many of us got onto a call and discussed what we could do together. And from there germinated the idea of creating ACT. We were very proud of three things. Number one, the entire startup and VC ecosystem came together and worked together and collaborated with the startup spirit to take this challenge head on. Wherever we asked for help, people opened their doors, both with their time as well as their resources and money. And this was very, very heartening to see. Number two, we realized that even for a challenge like the COVID-19 pandemic, some of the rules of the game that we apply for our for-profit businesses, using technology as a lever, data-first thinking, thinking scalable systems and solutions, and collaborating across government and other for-profit organizations very much apply to the entire non-profit world. And as COVID-19 in India began to sunset and the first grant fund of 100 crores was fully deployed, we were faced with the question, is that it? Should we now wrap up our efforts as ACT and move on? Or should ACT, which became a platform to take COVID-19 head on for the startup and VC ecosystem in India, now become a platform for many other challenges that the Indian society faces? This is a question that we grappled with for a while. And amongst all of us, as well as the larger ecosystem, we had one resounding answer. ACT should indeed become the collaboration platform to attack and solve for some very large, meaningful societal problems that India grapples with. People were already doing this in their own way. Let's hear for a minute from Nithin Kamath how he has been working on taking on climate change, an issue that's very close to his heart.
Hi, everyone. This is Nithin. I'm the founder and CEO of Zerodha. As we grew bigger as a business, we started looking at giving back to the society. So around 2015-16 is when we started making enough as a business to be able to give back. And one of the causes that was close to our heart within the team was around climate change and around creation of livelihoods. So the journey started off trying to support a few causes, and as we did better as a business, we did more. Last year, we kind of put all of what we're doing together under an umbrella called Rain Matter Foundation. So as a foundation today, we are supporting grassroots organizations that are working on climate change. We are helping climate change startups, with funding, which is for profit. But the idea there is that any profit generated goes back to the foundation to give back. One of the challenges while giving back was, I think I've been saying this personally. I think for me, making it was a lot easier than giving back, because the kind of skill sets required while giving back is tougher. And I think that's where ACT, something like ACT comes in play, and which can help people get over those barriers that are for giving back. Usually for giving back, the big challenge is trust. Because unlike a for-profit where you can see a product, you can see revenues, you can see, like a bunch of things that happen once you invest money, in a non-profit, you don't. I mean, it takes time before you see any result out of the investment you do. So building trust is a very key component, I think. And with ACT, with all the founders and people from the ecosystem getting together, it's much easier to get over the trust barrier for giving back. So I hope all of you founders, who've built great businesses and who've scaled it up, you can come back and give something back to the society. And I think it's just not money; it's also the skills that I think a lot of us have developed in terms of scaling up our businesses, which is required even for nonprofits. Right? Thanks a lot.
We all know Mukesh Bansal, who started Myntra and helped us all shop online, and then went on to start cure.fit, one of the leading organizations in India which is keeping us all fit. However, what we may not be aware of is that Mukesh was one of the founding members of Swasth, a not-for-profit organization which is looking to democratize healthcare in India and has formed a platform collaborating across some of the leading hospitals, digital health providers, as well as government. What he's trying to do is build an interoperable standard platform and standards similar to UPI so that healthcare can get democratized in India. And let's hear from Mukesh about Swasth and why he decided to take this on during COVID-19.
One of the large initiatives that ACT spawned, Swasth, in the health tech space that I was personally part of, the amount of traction that initiative has seen among healthcare providers, among government agencies is eye-opening, that when we come together, have a singular objective and put concerted effort behind it, things happen. If so much can happen in just a small period of time with small group of people, if we take long-term view and we have the support of the entire ecosystem, it's unimaginable the kind of impact we can create. I think this ecosystem is already doing great job in development country by creating new opportunities, by creating new jobs, and this is one more way where we can start to directly tackle things which our business models or the products may not be directly handling. So I am personally very excited and energized by what all of us are doing together here. I'm excited about the possibilities. I'm also very excited about the potential that this ecosystem holds.
As you just heard from all of them, one of the things that was common was that they wanted to do more with their time. They wanted to be an agent for societal change, and in many ways, the organizations that they were a part of, while achieving that societal change, was not enough. For them, it was important to go out and find other ways to create change and impact change, while using the same principles that we apply in our own startups, be it using technology as a lever, be it data first thinking, or be it thinking in terms of scalable systems, and applying them towards challenging problems of our society. So we realized at ACT that many of us were anyways passionate about committing our time, energy, and resources towards one or more problems, and were anyways doing this with our time. And that's when we asked the question, can ACT come together and become the common platform, the melting pot for the startup and VC ecosystem in India, where if anybody wants to commit part-time or full-time, their time, their energy, their resources towards one problem that India faces, then they can do that and they can move the needle in that problem. This problem could be related to healthcare, education, climate change, environment, or any other problem that is close to their heart. It could be a social problem, it could be an environment-linked problem, it could be an economic problem, but one where we feel that the tools that are available to us in the for-profit realm are not enough, and it's important that we step aside and see how we can create change through a platform like ACT.